What's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel once again. My name is Dash Lifestyle. Kindly for watching me for the first time, remember to subscribe, like, share, and also comment. So guys, in today's video, I want us to watch this video and see the reasons to why white people, they are so afraid of black people, especially the white people in the Western countries, the white Americans. So kindly guys, watch this video till the end, then I'll be back with more comment.
I just want to say that I'm so scared to go out in the world next year because I was never a prejudiced person until I'm listening to you. It's really scary hearing what you're saying. I'm very scared. You're not preaching.
My dear young lady, when you go out into the world, you're going to find a reality that you're going to have to deal with. Please don't live in a fantasy world created by television. There's a very real world out there.
Mr. Farrakhan, I sit here and I'm seething. The things that you're saying only divides us.
Well, what is it that he said that makes you angry?
I don't like what you say about Jews or any other people. These things that you... And when you look at us, you're not
talking about Jews. He's talking about an abasement of their religion
Phil,
by
excuse
some
me.
people.
Excuse me. What you're doing is Just a moment. You have been sitting there for an hour and you've been snickering and sneering at us.
Yes.
We don't look at you that way. We're giving you the respect, the full hour to listen. You're not Martin Luther King, who brought us together. I could listen to him forever, but you're dividing us.
Well, since I have 1 minute, I really thank you for the privilege of speaking to you and with you. I would hope that we as black people would come together and form a united front to deal with the problems that confront us. And then I would hope that whites would actually begin to know more about the condition that you are totally oblivious to. The Kerner report said that most whites know nothing really about what it is like to live in the ghetto.
I would just like to say that I am terrified that even you, someone who's obviously educated, has given up hope completely. Like when you call upon us, you say white folk, you say black people, Jewish people. Why can't we come together? We obviously can come together. We just have to find a way to do it.
The desire is good, but the reality is the total opposite of your desire. And unfortunately, as a young lady, you are not in the position of power to make the decisions to make America work. May I, as an audience of intelligent people, I would like to just take a moment to say to you that I really don't think you fully understand what has happened to these people that you look at as second class or inferior citizens in this nation. Black people who were brought to this country were stripped of their names, language, culture, religion, God, and taken totally away from the history of themselves. Here are 30 million people who don't wear their own names, they wear your names. Who don't speak their own language, they speak English, which is not their language. They never were allowed their own cultural expression of Africa. Don't you realize that when you turn a people upside down and inside out, then sell them not for a day, not for a year, but for 300 years and deny us the human right to know, to read a book, to learn, to understand. And then after 300 years of that, you allow us into the church, but by that time you've painted Jesus white, God white, the angels white, and then all these black people have been subjected to a form of white supremacy, which produces in the reverse a black inferiority. And this is fulfilling what Jesus said, as a man thinketh, so is he. And as long as our people think the way they think, we will never be able to do what we as a people should do to correct our condition.
Over here, please.
What I'd like to say, there was somebody over there in the audience who said that they were afraid, they were scared of when they were talking about the what he was saying, you see. And what I'm saying is the other day you asked Mandela that same question about fearing, white people fearing, you know, what will the black folks do and stuff. We should be running down the street screaming, ramping, and raving, because when you look at the statistics, who is the one dying? From the policemen, from the KKK, from the skinheads, from the black people.
We're getting scared. It should be the people of color.
Right. Yeah. It should be us who should be scared, or y'all sitting here.
Excuse me, I was brought up in, quote, Bedford-Stuyvesant in my time. But I would like to say what scares us is I think we hear violence.
May I respond? Yeah. May I respond, please? I'm sorry.
All right. Minister Farrakhan, would you explain why it is relevant at this stage in 1990, with all that we've gone through, why it is still relevant to try and to educate or to get white people to understand the plight of black people? Shouldn't the energy be directed to us?
Right on.
If I may, my work is directly to black people. I spend 99% of my time dealing with us to help us reform our minds and spirit that we may do for ourselves. However, when you live in a society like this, and we know that in order to effect a solution to a problem between black and white, then there's going to have to be some meaningful dialogue between black and white in order to effect a solution. The young lady said she's afraid of violence. And isn't it sad that we who have been the victims of so much violence, now whites fear violence from us? We do not have a history of killing white people. White people have a history of killing us. See? And what you fear, may I say this, sir? What you fear, and it's a deep guilt thing, that white folks suffer. You are afraid that if we ever come to power, we will do to you and your fathers what you and your people have done to us. And I think you are judging us by the state of your own mind, and that is not necessarily the mind of black people.
I'm with you in that you're talking about wanting to have meaningful dialogue, and that's a problem. You know, right away, I don't know what's going to make whites happy, for Pete's sake. You know, you're talking about trying to find a solution to your problem. You're trying hard to do that, and we're tuning you right out. We're arguing with you. We're not agreeing with anything. We're not trying to give you a chance. For Pete's sake, you know, what do we want?
Assalamu alaikum. Mr. Farrakhan, there's a situation now where 1 in 4 black males are in prison or in jail or in some type of probation situation, okay? When I look around, even myself being a black reporter, okay, and they talk about racism, of a black and white person go to the job, a black person is going to get the job, I never find that out. And we're in New York City with a black mayor, and I still haven't seen it. And when I see Minister Farrakhan, not only the brothers enlighten me, but he gives me hope to not give up, not go get a pistol and stick somebody up, okay? So when I see you, not only are you the light and the hope, but I think, white America, you need to listen. And please don't harm this brother, because we love him.
Yeah, hang on a minute, yeah.
Getting back to what she said, what exactly do we have a problem with? Before you made a statement, you said that I think that, well, not I, you said that white people think that you're inferior to us. I don't believe that. I'm part of the youth of America. I am not prejudiced. I feel more prejudiced right now than I've ever felt. Not against black, I am not prejudiced against black people. Some of my best friends are black people. I am, what's the problem with that?
Yeah.
You let him speak, let me speak.
Yeah. You wanted to speak to this young woman?
No, I don't want to speak.
Who wants to talk to her? Yes.
No,
yes.
what do you mean you feel more prejudice right now?
Because the way he's saying...
Because what?
What he's saying right now, I mean, I feel that you are prejudiced towards white people.
Okay, but excuse me. I think it's like he said, it might be a fear or misunderstanding that you have, because what fear has he put, or what has he actually said here today that makes you feel prejudiced?
I think that he said that we think that they're inferior. I think it's partly part of your own complex that you have to get over, because I don't feel you're inferior. I have nothing against black people.
Yes. Let me answer her. This is the, excuse me, this is the situation. Every young white adult says, I have not done this to black people. I have not done that to black people. But your forefathers are the ones who have set us in the situation we are in. Now, what I'm saying is this. When Nat Turner stood up, you all rejected him. You killed him. When Marcus Garvey stood up, you all rejected him, enslaved him. He died a broken heart. Now, what I'm saying is this. Your fathers have put us in the condition we are in, and today you are profiting from what your forefathers have done. Now, my grandchildren are going to be raised, and your children are going to say to them, they have not done to them, because you are the ones who are going to do to my grandchildren what they're going to experience if the situation continues. Now, what I'm saying is this. When we talk about America falling, what we are saying is this. If you all want to control America, then we must have a land base that we control. You all cannot continue printing the dollar bill and then expect us to abide by your rules when you do not want to give us jobs. Therefore, I'm saying that we have now got to come into negotiations, and Minister Farrakhan is the man to listen to.
It becomes apparent more and more as we listen to each other and try to talk to each other that we don't perceive reality the same. And as we're talking about either reconciling differences or separating, it becomes clear that if two people are looking at the same thing and perceiving it so differently, then the two people are operating under a different stimulus. And so when the young lady says, I am prejudiced, to be prejudiced means to judge before the fact. After 400 years of living and experiencing, we're not prejudiced. We are looking at the reality of what we have suffered and continue to suffer.
Are you there?
Yeah.
Are you there, caller?
Yes.
Thank you for waiting. I'm sorry it took us a while to get you, but go ahead. I know you'll be brief.
I'm a white American born into poverty, and I overcame it. You know, the opportunities are here in America, and why can't we just start now? We hear all this violence. Why can't we just talk in a positive way and go forward instead of remembering all these things that are in the past that are negative? They were not good for black, not good for white.
Yes, Minister Farrakhan commenting.
According to the State of Black America by the Urban League, if we started right now, they said, we could never close the gap to black poverty and white poverty. She said, let us start right now. Let's forget the past. Notice this. When Jewish people remember the Holocaust and want the world to remember the Holocaust. Wait. Why do you want the world to remember? Because if the world does not remember, it is likely to repeat itself. And Jewish persons who suffered from the Holocaust want the world to remember this because the world turned its back while Jews were put in ovens. I, as a black person, want my people to remember what we have suffered and what we continue to suffer so that we will say like the Jews, never again. Never again.
Okay, I've been listening in this corner right here, and I've heard a whole lot of negative things from the white people here. When you are trying to explain yourself, the white people don't want to hear you explain yourself. They drown you out. They start already trying to drown you out and talk over you. There's a certain amount of white arrogance here, and they don't want to listen to what black people are saying. They don't understand because they don't want to understand. I've heard a woman here say, go back to Africa. Somebody said, we have a black holiday. What does that mean? So what does that mean? He did not say that. He said, if we have a choice, what some of us can go and some of us can stay. But there's no understanding in here. People are just trying to talk.
To those arrogant persons, you know, when you tell us go back, please remember where you came from. And when you want to relegate somebody to a specific place, just remember what your origin is in this world. Please, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but I want you to understand that you, wherever you are on the earth, you're not a native anywhere. You came there and took it from the native people who are there. So please don't talk about going back, because if others talk to you about that, where would you go?
You know, Donald Trump will probably be accredited for a lot of things in history, especially once they tally up all of his atrocities committed against humanity, committed against society, committed against the American government and its people, its citizens. But one of the things that I dare say that he might also be accredited for is finally removing the last bit of distractions that kept the African American community divided. I'm not gonna lie, since the election, one thing that I've definitely seen that has been thriving is the unity of black people like none other. Every time I look into my comment section, my faith in unity within our group it's reaffirmed. It's what's the word? I have reassurance even, you understand, especially not just unity within the African American community in itself, but unity between the African American community and the African diaspora. You know, I'm so happy because, not to be cliche or anything, we're gonna be all right. We really are going to be all right. And it's not even no shade. I'm not even like trying to be cute when I say this. We really are going to be all right. Every time I post a video in my comment sections, it's flooded with African American people, black people, Caribbean, African descent people, like literally in America talking about, we're going to be good. We're going to be fine. So while I'm pretty sure Donald Trump doesn't want to be accredited for something like this, I'm pretty sure the plan was to always keep us divided, you understand? He unfortunately, with all of his policies, with all the little distractions that he's taking away, is making us become united. Like, once we found out that all of these programs that being removed actually never even benefited us, and then the removal of it just shows that you blatantly do not give a fuck about the African American community or the black community or the Hispanic community or any community of color, the immigrant community. Once we saw that, we locked in. We said, oh, okay, I'm not going to spend no money over there. Oh, you don't want me there? Okay, I won't apply there. Oh, you trying to, you want to make me unemployed? That's cool. It's all right. I'm going to figure out another way. Like, we really said, thank you. Thank you for the heads up. Thank you for the transparency, because that's something that we've been asking for centuries, you know? And now we're going to go into our own lane. We're going to go and create our own lane. And you are not welcome. That's the best part, is that you are not welcome. There's no more invitations. There's no more extended invitations to any cookouts. Y'all aren't welcome. So thank you. Thank you for finally removing the rose-colored glasses, for finally making it so that we can see clearly. Because now we're locked in.
So this is just a quick message to my people. Okay, you beautiful brown and so-called black people out there in the world all over. Did y'all know how special y'all are? Do y'all know how special you are to the Most High? Like, he said you are so special and that he loved you so much. He has He created you to be above all nations that are upon the face of the earth. If you don't believe me, open up your Bible and read it. Deuteronomy chapter 7 verse 6 says, "Thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God, and the Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself above all people that are upon the face of the earth." Above every other nation, every other people upon the face of the earth, you are above them. This is what the Most High declared in his word. God is not a man that he would lie. And this is what our people have to begin to understand. He said he loves you above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Why do you think they try so hard to keep us down, to keep us out, to keep us oppressed, to keep us separated, to keep us conflicting and fighting with one another, to keep us hating one another? Who done this? The so-called white man's done this and been doing this for hundreds and hundreds of years. In that precept specifically, it is declaring segregation. The Most High, when he created us, he always wanted us to be separate, especially from these Edomites, so-called white people. He always wanted us to be separated from them. Being intermingled and entertained with them, entangled with them, it's brought us nothing but bad. Think about it. Countless amount of times, it's brought us nothing but bad things. Go back. Think about our history. Since we came over here to America, and for the natives that are from this land, that are indigenous of America, here in America, this is your land. The moment that so-called white people came in contact with the natives, it's been nothing but bad. And this is what we have to understand, y'all. We have to separate from our enemy. We have to come back together with one another and begin to build each other up and begin to love each other, okay? And with that being said, you cannot do that with an enemy in between you and your people. When our people begin to wake up and actually grasp that concept, how powerful we would be as a nation of people. Right now, our nation, our people, and the majority of our people don't know who they are or where you come from, don't know your ancestors, your great-great-great-great-grandmother. You don't know. So you run to the so-called white man to get a DNA test just for them to give you a lie, to give you some sense of, oh my goodness, this is where I come from. That's a lie. We Israelites, we the children of Israel. You come from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. That so-called white man, that's a fraud. That's not who our Savior is. That's not the real, his name's not Jesus. He was a Hebrew man, okay? And with that being said, he was very dark skinned. All the things that they so-called don't like about us, they copy. Make it make sense. If you don't like these big lips or this big nose, let them tell it. Or that nappy hair, let them tell it. But then you turn around and you copy it? Like, make it make sense. It's time for my people to wake up and realize how special you truly are. Know who you are. Remember who you are. And know that remember the power and the greatness that is within you. You have to separate from your enemies. Your enemies have pulled you down. And make no mistake, your enemies is so-called whites. The Bible tells us that. We was sold to our enemies. We was brought on ships and sold to our enemies. And no man has bought us. Look at history. That's why they can shoot our people down in the street and go off not guilty. That's why they can have a knee on the neck for 9, 10, however many minutes the officer had his knee on George Floyd's neck until he took his life. And now they ready to acquit him and let him out and go not guilty. The things that they do to us, shoot our sisters down in the street, pregnant, and go off not guilty. How they cheat us. In order for you to get a house loan, your interest is going to be 10 times your white counterpart. In order for you to get a car loan, your interest is going to be 10 times your white counterpart. Y'all, we have to wake up and separate from our enemy. I'm all for segregation because segregation is biblical. And these so-called whites, they know that and they understand it. That's why they cleave so tight to us, y'all. They don't like us, but yet they want to be just like us. And they just can't help themselves but to be up in our business. But with that being said, keep y'all butts in the house. Do not go out there to that April 5th protest, okay? Tomorrow is the Sabbath. Observe the Sabbath. Stay at home, chill, don't cook, don't buy, don't sell. Honor the Most High, and He'll bless you. Shalom.
Let me show you guys why the rest of the world is afraid for Africa to unite. And if you don't believe what I'm saying, every time that we've got a leader, we've got a musician, Bob Marley even made a whole song, Africa Unite. Every time we've got some kind of leader that was preaching Africa Unite, the person disappeared. But let me show you guys why. You see this map on the screen. The outer part is the continent of Africa. And all these countries fit in the continent of Africa. Do you see that? US is there, European countries are there, even China, parts of China. So all these countries fit in Africa. So just imagine how big Africa is. In fact, it all started from a conference held somewhere in Germany called the Berlin Conference, where a group of major European countries met and they decided that they were going to split the spoils in Africa. Africans were sitting in their home minding their own business, and a group of people were sitting down to decide how they were going to divide the spoils. And they took 3 months for that conference. So my question is, African leaders, if they can take 3 months to divide us, why can't we take 3 months to break down those borders? Why do we need years and talking and conference and talking? Think about it. They took 3 months to do this deal, and they broke the continent and said, well, the spoils have fed all of them. The spoils have fed and developed all of them, and their children's children are enjoying, where we have been left impoverished. And they dare say that Africa is not civilized. So imagine that these small countries come together, having like 70-80% of the world's natural resource. And then mind you, some have not even been discovered. Holding most of the world's natural resources, they'll be in big trouble. How to give a little visual for those of you who say that Africa is not poor, right? We are just still being colonized by some people, and Africans are sleeping. But we are awake now. We are waking up. Wake up. Don't sleep. Wake up. This time and this group of Africans are different. We are rising up and we are coming for what is ours.
I happen to be black, so I can say this, and I'm not really worried about what other people will say when I say this. Also, because for some reason, white people are not allowed to say this in America because they're going to be called a racist. But there's something that's happening in America right now, and it's kind of crazy that it's happening at the time that it's happening right now. And it's kind of like an awakening. That's something that's happening. And basically, that's just white people being tired of being called a racist. And by the way, more importantly, they are tired of the racism. And yes, you heard me correctly. I did not stutter. I said what I said. Yes, the racism that black people themselves have spewed or have been spewing on or about white people. Like, I kid you not, it's such a normal thing for a black person to call a white person a cracker or whatever they want to call them, or call them names or whatever, racial terms. Nobody bats an eye. Freedom of speech, right? But let a white person do the same thing, or not even the same thing, because the white person doesn't even have to call the black person a racial slur. They just have to say something that other black person thinks or feels is in some way racist. Like, for example, the other day, I saw somebody make a video saying that they feel oppressed or they feel like a white person is being racist whenever they call them brother. Like, bro, is that how soft black people in America have become, where if a white person calls you brother, like, you're offended by that? That's racist in some way? Like, I don't know about you, but that's very crazy to me. And it's kind of interesting because what's been happening recently is like white people have started to speak their minds, as they rightfully should be able to do. They've been, using that freedom of speech that, they had been granted by the Constitution, just like any other American. But yeah, I don't know if y'all have noticed, but like basically white people have they just tired of the shit. Like they just gotten fed up, which is kind of funny. They are just simply not content with the fact that there are certain black people in America who are literally perpetuating and practicing the same racism that they complain about, which is incredible and very contradictory.
Have you guys seen that video that's going around of a black lad walking around in his neighborhood, and then he's being followed by a group of white people asking him why he's there, because they particularly felt that he shouldn't be in this neighborhood. He repeatedly said to them, "This is my neighborhood." They constantly following him and harassing him for being in that particular neighborhood. Now, this is a public road. Even if it wasn't his neighborhood, this is a public road. This is how scary, you have to be fearful of us, our black men, where they go. Because, anything could have happened to you. He had his mobile phone and he filmed it. He was filming it. And there is this one man, he drove up in his car like Starsky and Hutch. Yes, I'm that old, I remember Starsky and Hutch. And went for a gun. It was one of the other men that stopped him. But they were there harassing this guy. He's walking, minding his own business and harassing him. He's in his own neighborhood. His mother has now put a statement out, says, yes, they do live in the neighborhood. And he went out for a walk so he can have a word, speak to his girlfriend privately on his phone. And why is it white people are so scared of black people? What is it? If you're white and you're watching this, let me know. What is the problem with you and black people? Why are you so scared? And why is it that you have to harass our men, right? In particular, right? Why are you so scared? There's good white people and there's bad white people. There's good black people and there's bad black people. We're not all the fucking same. What is it that's going on? Why? And you're going to be called out because now we've got social media, we've got mobile phone, and we'll film that shit, right? So you're going to be called out. It's particularly disturbing because, anything can happen. What about the lad they found hanging from a bridge, or was it a tree or something? He didn't put himself there. He was at work. He was in his work. He was working. This is the thing in this day and age, 2024, and we've got to fear. We have to be fearful for our men and women when they're out on their own. This is crazy, and the government need to do something about this. This cannot go on. It can't go on. Anyway, let me have your comment. Put it in the comment. Let's have your comment. See you on the next one.
So guys, I hope you have watched and listened to that video and you have seen the reasons to why white people, they are so afraid of black people, especially the white Americans. They are so much afraid of black Americans in the United States simply because these people, they fear the unity of the black people. They don't want to see black people uniting in America. These people, they always want to see black people fighting. And because of that, we have seen how the the white people, they really want to eliminate some of our leaders. Like, for example, Ibrahim Traore. Ibrahim Traore, he has become a symbol of unity to us black people. We saw what happened when the United States threatened to arrest Ibrahim Traore. Majority of the black people, they came together. Black Americans, they came together. Black people in the Caribbean, they came together. And also African people, we all united just to protect Ibrahim Traore. And because of how we united and protect Ibrahim Traore, that it was a big fear to the white people. This is one of the reasons to why the white people, they fear to us black people, because they know if black people will become strong, if we black people will unite, will become strong, and also we will defeat them. And that's why they don't want to see us black people uniting, coming together. They always find things to make us black people to divide. You can see the reasons to why we are having the black people in the United States, the reasons why we are having the black people in the Western countries and also the black people in the Caribbean. It is because of this, the colonizers, the white people. They came to our country here in Africa. They came in Africa, in the motherland. They captured our people, our very strong people here in Africa. They went with them. They forced them in forced slavery. So these people, they didn't want to see black people uniting in one country. They decided to come and take black people and went with them, and they treated them so bad. They forced them into forced labor. So because of that, these people, they wanted to divide us black people. And because of that also, we have been seeing the white people, they are showing bad image of Africa, what it is happening in Africa. They are showing people, they are dying with hunger. They are showing the image of Africa. People, they are poor. People, they are not living well. The Africa, it is the third world country. It is a country whereby there's a lot of struggle. These are some of the images that these people, they usually see. They usually show to the black people in the Western country, to make them not to come in Africa, to make them not to support the black people, their fellow black people in Africa or any other or in the Caribbean. So they usually portrayed a bad image of Africa, so that they can make these people to fear Africa. They can make black people, the black Americans, to fear Africa. But for me, I can tell you that right now, black people, we are waking up. We are now seeing exactly the reasons to why these people, they are so afraid of us, because they know when black people, they will come together, when black people, they will come stronger, they will defeat them. And some of the things that they have been doing to us black people, we will also start to make them to pay for it. For example, these people, they need to pay our reparation. Yeah, these people, they need to pay black people reparation. They need to pay for the damages that these people, for the damages that they did where during slavery. Some of our African countries, they are still asking for the slavery reparation, and these people, they are refusing to pay. So because of that, these people, they don't want us to unite so that we can become more stronger. And I keep on telling you that when people, they are coming together, there is more power, and there is no the people will be more stronger when people, they are coming together. So these people, they don't want to see us coming together, because they fear us black people. And for me, I can tell you that it is now the right time for us black people to come together, to unite, and also make these people to pay some of the things that they did to us. Like here in Africa, or some of the black countries, there's some of the families, they are having slavery scars. Yeah, some other people, they are still living in fear. They are having the bad memories of what happened to their forefathers during slavery. So for me, I can tell you that these people, they need to pay slavery reparation. And also, these people, they need to respect us. They need to start to treat us how it's supposed to be, because we have been seeing how these people, they are treating the black Americans in the United States. The black Americans, they have been complaining of being given less opportunity, despite the black Americans, they are the ones who build the United States. Majority of them, they are being given less opportunity. Majority of them, they are going through racism. Majority of them, they are not, they are being oppressed. So this is to tell you that these people, they don't care about black people. These people, they want to treat black people very bad. And that's why when black people, they are trying to make these people to respect them, their voices, it is not being heard. But the other races, when they are starting to raise their voice, it is being heard. Like the Chinese, the Indians, the Japanese, when these people, they are coming together, and what they need to make they want to make the white people to hurt them. These people, it is very easy for them to their problem to be solved, but for the black people, their problem, it is very hard to be solved. So for me, I can tell you that as black people, we need to come together, we need to unite, so that also when we raise some of the issues, our issues needs to be heard, and also these people, they need to solve our issue very quickly. So for me, I can tell you that these are some of the fears that the white people, they are having towards black people. For a very long time, they didn't want us black people to unite, but thanks to God, right now we are having social medias, we are having our professors, our history educators. They're coming out teaching us about our black history. They're coming out and teaching us exactly some of the challenges and the struggle that black people they are going through in the United States. And also they are exposing what the white people they have been doing to us black people. And also our professors and our history educators also, they are coming out and telling us exactly how these people they have been hiding our history. Yeah, for a very long time these people they have been hiding our history, and we have been learning the white people history. But right now we have seen these people they need to produce and to give us our black history. So kindly guys, I don't want to talk too much. Subscribe if you haven't, like this video, share, and also comment. See you on my next one. Bye bye.